Good morning. Okay, so today is day 11 of 12 of the 12 days of Christmas, and I've been doing crafty kind of inspiration. I got a heart already, and I don't know who's on there. Anyways, oh hi Susan. Okay, I don't know why that was so squeaky. But anyways, I need a new, I'm thinking I need a new router, so my multi-camera angle thing isn't working. So I am going to switch you now to, so you can see what I'm doing. But we're going to be stenciling on a pillowcase. So let me get you set up here so you can see, hopefully without too much wiggling and shaking. I hope. I can't see. There, I think that's kind of centered good. All right, guys. So today we have, this is a pillowcase from IKEA. So just one of these. I forget how much they are. I want to say these ones might be $9.99. They are kind of a linen. These ones are really nice. I like them. So we're going to be using one of those. And we are going to be using, I have not used this stencil yet. As you can see, it's still in the package. But this is the Jamie Ray Vintage stencils. I carry these stencils here in the store and online. They're all online. And this is the Vintage Truck. So, there we go. I don't know if you can kind of see that. But it just kind of fits. Like it's from here to here. So it's going to be a tight squeeze on here. And I dug out some of her bottle brush trees as well, just in case. And then I have IOD's retro stamps that I'm going to put, I think, the word home up here because I kind of want this pillow to maybe work year round instead of just Christmas. So first off, I've got it kind of set up where I want it to be. And I'm going to just use a little bit of masking tape to hold my stencil in place, so it doesn't wiggle around on me, hopefully. So because it's Saturday, I'm assuming there's not going to be very many of you on here because, well, I think there's only one more Saturday before Christmas. So I assume you're all heading out to do your shopping. So I figured it was a good day to do stenciling, which I don't do very often. So if this is an epic failure. Oh, there's, thank you, Vita. Yes, that's it. Vita's on. She's my link finder. Okay, so I'm not doing this truck red. I am going to use Fusion's Renfrew Blue, which is like a really deep, rich turquoise color. And I've also seen as turquoise is totally my jam, like it is my color. I've never painted with this color. Hi, Carol. So, brand new, never painted with it. My daughter-in-law painted with this color and it turned out fabulous. She did a big china cabinet and it looks gorgeous. So, here's hoping I have this going. I gotta get my wet wipes. Have that handy. All right, so you have two options when you're doing stenciling. You can use an actual stencil brush. I use Klingon brushes. Any of the Klingon brushes, they have long, soft synthetic bristles, and the tips are really fine, and I just think that they work really, really well for stenciling. However, they're really long, like the bristles are long. So I take a piece of masking tape and I just wrap it around the bristles to kind of stabilize them a little bit better. And then as you're pouncing on there with your paint, you're good to go. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to scoop out a little bit instead of dipping right into my container. I'm just going to scoop a little bit out here and try not to make a mess. Okay, remember, less is more when it comes to stenciling. So I am going to, where am I going to start? Let's just start right here. You can always do multiple coats, but you don't want to add too much paint all at once. Especially on fabric, because it'll bleed. Stenciling is you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mask off some of these spots that I don't want. Like around the tires, I obviously want to stencil black. So I don't want to get my turquoise all up in there. And I don't trust my non-steady hands to get that all in there properly. So we're just going to mask this off. You can just use a little, like a piece of paper as you're going to kind of mask off those areas too. But I always see people stenciling and they're just kind of like slapping it on. And I honestly don't know how they get it to look nice. I would end up with so much bleed through under the stencil. It wouldn't even be funny. Sometimes I just think it looks great on camera, but then how does that look in real life? That's the going thing, Pearl. Well, I'm doing turquoise because I like it. I know the red trucks are super popular for Christmas. Still, it's been quite a few years already that red truck thing has been the thing for farmhouse Christmas. Okay, I don't want that bumper. This is a big stencil, but once I get going here, it should be fine. And this is, there are wood rails here that I also don't want. And then all this tape is just easy to come off. Which color am I using right now, Vita? I'm using Renfrew Blue, Fusion's Renfrew Blue. Where else do I need to tape this off? We'll just see as I go. And because it's a pillow, I'm not aiming for 100% coverage either. If it looks kind of antique-y and distressed, I guess, I'm okay with that. You can also roll with a sponge roller. Your stenciling works pretty good. I don't know about on fabric, but it works pretty good for like a tabletop, or maybe not a tabletop, but you know what I mean, the top of a piece of furniture or something you're doing. Just same thing. Make sure you really offload your rollers so you don't want it too juicy because it'll seep underneath your stencil. And I also try to just pat this up and down. Yes, Susan, I do. Did I put one? No. So let's see what kind of a mess I've made. So on another episode of What Not to Do, I seem to do that a lot, guys. If you want to know how to not screw up or how to fix your screw ups, oh, so far so good. What I'm going to use, thank you, Susan, for reminding me, bringing that to my attention. This is a thin mount from IOD, and I'm going to put that in there. It'll work perfect. All right. Good grief. I thought of that yesterday when I was setting this up and then totally flipped off my brain this morning. Thanks, Susan. Luckily, I have not. It hadn't seeped through. That would have been. Oh boy. So yes, do as Susan says and put some kind of a protective barrier inside your pillowcase. So whatever you're stenciling or stamping, because even sometimes the inks, if you're stamping with the IOD ink, it can seep through. I feel like a woodpecker pounding away on this. Yeah, I haven't stenciled in a really long, actually I haven't done anything with the pillowcases in a really long time. So it totally flew out of my head. I'm just trying to get it to look sort of even. Okay, I have to do some more masking here. So let's mask off this wheel. This bumper first. Let's get that. And this tire. Yes, Pearl, I will heat set this, and I'll do it with an iron, just with no steam, and get that heat set. I think regardless of what kind of paint or ink or anything that you're using, you're going to want to heat set it. Just so that when you do wash it, it's not gonna fade super bad like first washing. Okay, and the only other thing I think should be that window. And then I'm done with this fiddly part here. I think. Sometimes it's hard when you're looking at stencils to see what part is what. Sorry guys, I'm trying to hurry here. All right, I think that should be good. Back to the pouncing. So it's always easier to add more. If you need more, it's a lot harder to take it away. So always start out with less. Oh, there's my headlight there. I better mask that too before I forget and stomp right over it. So tomorrow is the last day and I will be on at 9 tomorrow. So I'll be on earlier. Is there a I haven't set my project for tomorrow in stone here yet. Is there something you guys would like to see on the last day? You can also use, if you don't have floor cloth on a drop cloth. That's funny, Pearl, because I have to make one of those. I need one for here in the store just because now it's winter but I don't think I'm gonna be prepared for that tomorrow. Depends how today goes. But I will, that is something I will do. I think that idea is good for, the reason why I want one is to protect an existing rug. Just so that you have something that's light that you can pop off and throw in the washing machine. That got a little bit juicy right there, so hopefully it doesn't bleed through. I like this color. Yeah, Susan, and it's usually between a half an hour and an hour. I like to keep these videos. Something like the drop cloth might be something that I record, and then that would be like a YouTube video. To kind of, doing it live would probably take, it would be too long. I was thinking of doing some ornaments with the IOD frames mold. But I've done ornaments a couple times, so I didn't know if you guys wanted to see more ornaments or tags. I could have probably used a bigger brush, one of the bigger Klingon brushes for this, but oh well, almost done now. Almost done the big color anyways. Oh wow, Susan, that's my my island in my kitchen is pretty much this color. The rest of my cabinets are white, and then I have some, well, it's kind of like an off-white, a distressed. And I have one little portion at my cooking center that is like a brown stain. Yeah, so 3 different colors of cabinets in my kitchen. Something with a window, like a window transfer, Janet? Or stamping, or... I have to look in my stash and see if I have any little windows, smaller windows that are ready to go. This color is Renfrew Blue. Fusion's Renfrew Blue. I don't know if it's showing up on screen here, how it looks in real life, but it's a gorgeous turquoise. Gorgeous. Okay. I didn't add any kind of a fabric conditioner or anything. To prep the pillowcase, all I do if I'm working with pillowcases or tea towels or table runners or any fabric is I wash it with no fabric softener. So you don't want to use any fabric softener. Okay, so that's it for that one. Take that off, put my brush in water, and fold this over, get a fresh spot, and let's get this black out of the way for the tires. These stencils are 18 mil, so they're super strong, which is awesome because you can actually wash them pretty decently without fear of them falling apart. You still have to be very careful, but yeah, that's it. Okay, so now this is Coal Black, Fusion's Coal Black. Yeah, Janet, you'll have to look at it. It's a really pretty color. Okay, so I'm going to use, I buy these little these makeup sponges at the dollar store, and they're perfect for stamping because you've got all these different size little layers. So that's what I'm going to use here. Same kind of process. It's going to help me get, hopefully, without so they work way better when you're stenciling on a hard surface rather than fabric. Just going to put that out there right now. Okay, I'm not liking that at all. So that's not going to work for me. So let's see if this brush will work. I'm trying not to move. You can always wait and mask your turquoise off then, so this isn't so fiddly, but trying to speed up this process a little bit for you guys. That was close. Almost stamped the rim, or stenciled the rim black. That would not have been ideal. Would have been okay, would have made it work, but it would not have been ideal. I think this is supposed to be turquoise. So I'm gonna have to go back there. I'm just gonna use my finger as a mask. I always got paint on my hands anyways, so. Sorry if I'm missing. What red would I use with this? I would probably, that's a tough one. Probably the Fort York red, because it's a brighter red. The cranberry is a deep, rich red, and it would probably work too. You'd have to kind of see it side by side and what would work. I'm just trying really hard not to get black on that turquoise up there. I know this isn't very exciting, but it's the process. I think that's it for the black. I have to touch up that little bit of turquoise right there that I forgot. And of course I had my brush sitting in water already, so let's see if I can salvage enough. Oh yeah. Let's put this piece of plastic right here. No, not that. Let's use this. Voila. Okay. Now I want to touch up some of this black over here. Orange would definitely work with this. What do you, is this for your dresser, Janet? I'm just going in and kind of touching this black up. It's a little too wispy for me here. Seen as their tires. The Tuscan orange would look fabulous with Renfrew blue, for sure. But I'm just wondering what it is we're painting, because that kind of makes a difference sometimes too. I vote Tuscan orange over any of the reds though. Okay, so now I need, I have my metallic bronze. Well, actually these should be, I'm gonna go with white. White there, white on the grill. And then after the fact, I can probably go in with a little brush and add a little bit of metallic just to give it some oomph. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. I changed my mind. I am going to do those bumpers. So this is the metallic brushed steel. So it's a really like a kind of a lighter charcoal kind of color. You wanted to make it lean towards the blues, but with some color. Okay. So yeah, those are options. Are you planning on blending, Janet? Okay. Let's see what happens here. I need my little masking tool here. Oh boy, the texts now. I don't know if you guys are hearing the pinging, but my daughter is out on a first date, ice fishing, which is probably the perfect first date. So first date guy is winning already with the ice fishing. So she's just letting me know she's alive, because, you know, mama worries. And she's probably gonna watch this and be like, Mom, don't tell people. So she's alive, in case y'all care. She's alive and well. All right. Now I need some white for the grill, but I kind of wanted to have that little bit of metallic in there too. So I'm just going to use my same old brush. And now I'm using picket fence. And I'm just going to, same old brush, dab on the picket fence. And why do I keep throwing this thing away? I need it. So just is going to give that white a little bit of oomph, because otherwise you're not even going to really see it on this color of pillowcase. And same with this window. I'm going to do the window the same. That white and gray and very carefully. You want it more chippy. Okay, I can help you out with the chippy. I've discovered a pretty good method using Fusion paint to get a really cool chippy look. You know what this all brings out in my head is when you're a kid and you're coloring and you're trying to make everything look all realistic in your little coloring book. Then I remember it's a stencil. It's not supposed to be. Okay, one more, the boards. And those I am going to want some browns. And I think I have, I'm just gonna wipe this off a bit. Get most of the goo. The But now I'm going to mix this is chocolate, Fusion's chocolate. I'm going to mix that with some of this picket fence. To get kind of a warm brown color, because chocolate's pretty dark. Okay. This isn't the greatest brush to use for stenciling, but it's kind of working. The angle on it makes it want to, it kind of pushes the fabric underneath. So you got to be careful not to go too hard. One more board and we're done with the stencil. Good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl Ann, sorry. My mama's name is Cheryl. All right, did I miss anything? I don't think so. I think I got it. I think I got it all. Put aside my mess. Ready to check this out? I'm ready. Hopefully it all worked out perfectly. If not, we're just gonna pretend, okay? Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this and kind of peek. Ooh, I think it worked. Oh, I did forget something. Dang it. The rims. See, that's why you hold it and check, because you never know. So I just need a little bit of my white. I'm just gonna do pure white on those because, you know, old school. It was white rims. Not like this is going to be super noticeable, but it still gives that little bit of variation. All right. Ta-da. Okay. There we go. There is our truck. Now, I'm just going to pop this in the sink. Just run a little bit of water on it. So now to touch this up, you can always go and you can kind of fill in certain areas so it doesn't look so stencil-y. Like what I would do is kind of fill this part in right here. Fill that in. There isn't really a whole lot more. Could fill in these little fender bits and the tires. Just go in with a paintbrush and do it. Maybe, I might not. My brown looks more gray than brown, but it looks kind of cute. I kind of like it. So now I'm gonna move my Thankful to Susan protector here. And we're going to use the retro stamp. And I think I'm just going, I was gonna do gather, but gather is so all of the gather. So I think I'm just gonna write the word home. So these are the retro stamps. So I'm just going to, I pulled it off the backing, and now I'm gonna place the stamp face down on the pillowcase. What other letters do I need from this page? The M and the E and the O. Okay. So now I'm just going to try to kind of always make sure that when you're lining stuff up like this, you are placing them face down. Because if you don't place them face down, and you pick up your stamps with your thin mount, it will still pick up sometimes when it's the wrong way. And then what you end up doing is you end up inking the back side of your stamp, and sometimes you might not notice. These stamps you would probably notice, but I have to try to eyeball and make sure this is centered. But if you ink the back side of your stamp, you end up kind of just with a big globby mess, which is frustrating on fabric because you can't fix that. I might be, that's funny. Susan was a little bit upset by the lazy Susan yesterday. I had 3 Susans watching the lazy Susan yesterday that I know of. But yes, you're not lazy, Susan. No way. Okay, that looks straight enough for my eyes. And now what I'm going to do, this is a thin mount, but it's just a half of one. I cut it in half. So now I'm going to just kind of center my piece over the letters. And I've lined up the top with the top of the pillowcase. So that's going to be my reference point right here. So now, basically what you want to do is with your grid lines, you can check and see how straight you've lined up your letters. It looks pretty good to me. I'm happy with that. I don't want things to be 100% perfectly precise. For one thing, the letters are all a little bit different. So that's going to be really hard to do. They're not designed to be crisp, perfect text, right? It's handmade, it's homemade, it's supposed to have some personality. Okay, so now the ink color that I'm going to use is, what color ink am I going to use? I was kind of thinking of the Ocean's Deep because it's a turquoise, but I think it's too blue, so it's going to clash. So I think I'm just going to go with black, which I have to go get because it's at the counter. One sec. Okay, so, and because I'm stamping on fabric, I want to make sure that my ink pad is fresh. It's not drying at all. So, let me move this for a sec and just grab this to protect. So this is my ink pad. This is my really old 3-year-old bottle of black ink. So that tells you how long this stuff lasts. And no, I didn't lose the cap. Long story short, but the cap fits on the chicken water at home. So yeah, anyways, my cap got evicted. So all I'm doing now is I'm just squeezing ink onto the ink pad and just using the tip to kind of rub it in. This ink bottle, oh crap. This ink bottle is empty. Now empty. And so I put this nice protective piece on here, and then I dropped a glob of ink right below it. Good times. Whatever, that'll be on the bottom of the pillowcase so you won't see it, right? That's what I'm gonna tell myself. I always do something dumb. So, dumb aside, make sure my pillowcase is flat and straight. I always try to iron them first. It makes life a lot easier. And then we are going to load our, and I'm just tapping lightly on the stamps, making sure I've got full coverage on all of the letters. When you're stamping on fabric, you want it to be a little bit more juicy. So that's a rock. Thanks, Janet. I'm gonna write rock and an arrow in case anybody asks. Okay, so kind of eyeballing my center, because once you put this down, it's down. Lining up my top. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something, Pearl. That's a good idea. I'm just pressing on it gently, firmly but gently. Sometimes on something like this, using your brayer helps because you get that full pressure coverage right across everything. Just a little bit extra. But always make sure you're stabilizing with one hand. And I'm just holding to lifting to make sure. Looks pretty good. Voila. And now I think I'm going to, I could totally be destroying this, but I think my home needs some color. What do you guys think? What do you think? And how I'm going to do that is with a little bit of my Renfrew Blue. I'm gonna do it. I kind of chickened out there for a second, but I'm gonna do it. Why not, right? Gibber. I'm just looking for the right kind of paintbrush that might be ideal. And a little squirt of water. So I just put a little dab of Renfrew Blue here. Okay, here it goes, guys. Also want to try to, again, protect because my stamps are still wet. So I'm not looking for, I'm just wanting to add a tinge of color to these letters. Not solid, like when we were stenciling. I don't want it this solid. It's just gonna give it a little bit of, I don't know, just zhuzhes it up a bit. Still kind of keeps it kind of antique-y looking, right? See ya, Vita. Remember, I'll be on here tomorrow at 9 if you're planning on catching it. I'll be an hour earlier tomorrow. Have a great weekend. And thanks for posting links. So I'm just pretty light pressure here. Nothing major. Just kind of sitting on top of the fabric. But it'll stain it, and once you heat set it, you'll be good. and you're just experimenting. So in case you drop a drop of ink on your pillowcase like I did, it's not the end of the world. Right. What time are we at here? Ooh, we're like at an hour. I'm just going kind of a little bit darker here on the bottoms. Kind of gives it a little slight, kind of like a slight little ombre. Look, see you, Janet. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Sandy. Almost done. Unless I think of something later today to do to add to it, but one more letter. Thanks for watching, Susan. Have fun shopping. All right. There we go, guys. Yes, Julianne, you will set it with a dry iron, so no steam in your iron. No steam whatsoever. And just heat set it, really good heat set. And then when you wash it, just wash it on gentle. You missed the stamping part. The stamping part was the quick part, so you just have to look back a couple minutes and you'll find that one. The stenciling takes a little bit longer, but it kind of turned out cool, and I like the color. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you tomorrow, but don't forget, I am on at 9 tomorrow morning, not 10. Tomorrow is day 12, last day. Thanks so much. Have a great day.